Hi, my name is Gurmeet. I am the fundamental analyzer for Weltrade Malaysia. Today I'm going to speak about the fundamental factors of WTI, crude oil. Yeah. So first and foremostly is that we always look at the supply factors. So supply factors, it's like the outages and also the maintenance. Yeah. Where actually that if let's say that they could not maintain the maintenance for the production or there is some outages, yeah, so what will happen is that this will actually decrease, yeah, the price of the oil or increase the price of the oil, yeah. So other than that, the second supply factor would be that OPEC, yeah. OPEC is basically an organization of the petroleum export countries, where their production cuts or extensions basically leads to the changes in oil prices, yeah. So it's very important to know if there is any cuts or any extensions basically. Thirdly, basically we will have to look into the oil suppliers, yeah, to know that who are the top global suppliers. Basically, they are the US, China, Japan, yeah. Factors. The demand factors, it could be the seasonality, where usually during the hot summer it can lead to the increased activity and higher oil consumptions. Cold winter cause people, to use more oil products to heat their homes. Yeah. So this will actually ensures that the price of the oil can go up. And other than that, we also look at the oil consumers such as US and European countries, yeah, and also the Asian countries such as Japan and China also need oil, yeah, to actually run the economy. And it's very important to pay the attention on the level of demand in these countries, yeah. So that is some of the fundamental factors for crude oil, yeah. So as we can see, this is the forex factory. So we can go into Thursday 4th of August, which is today, and we could see that these are all the medium impact news basically. So let's look at the high impact news, which is the natural gas storage. Yeah. So natural gas storage. Okay. So as we can see here is that change in the number of cubic feet of natural gas held in underground storage during past week. So we can see that basically there is a more storage of natural gas. Yeah. So it's very important for us to actually know this, because it does actually help us to actually determine that whether if the oil, yeah, the oil price will actually go up or will go down. Because if we have more reserve basically of oil, so basically we can actually help, yeah, to the to the changes, yeah, that happens. And also at the same time we can also ensure that the production levels and the significant price volatility can can be balanced basically. So from here, this is the first news for today. So as we go on into this particular news, as we look into, we can see that we have a confirmation that we know that the price of the crude oil would increase. Yeah. So let's see something from investing.com as well. This is for confirmation. As we know, we had one particular news, which is US crude inventories rise unexpectedly as imports jump. So as we can see here, that crude inventories has rose by 3.8 million barrels in the week to July 27, yeah, compared to analyst expectations, yeah, for a decrease of 2.8 million barrels. So we basically can know from this that we have quite number of oil basically, and at the same time we can ensure that we will be actually able to actually provide related to the crude oil. Yeah. So this is the way that how we look into it. And other than that, if you need more confirmation, yeah, we can also see towards this, which is the 17 hours ago. Yeah, I always focus on the news that is above 10 hours. Yeah, so as you can see here, US personal income barely recovered in the economic expansion. So as you can see that the US economic growth is sleeping. Yeah, and thus we are also looking that into the consumer spending, industrial production as well, which has basically reduced. Yeah, so as we can see that the inflation rate, yeah, is basically improving, yeah, as well. Yeah, it's basically going up, yeah, for in US. Yeah, so this means that actually that we would pay more for the US barrel, yeah, for the crude oil. Okay, so based on this news, this particular news, we can say that that the crude oil, yeah, for WTI is basically bullish. Yeah, so this is the two news that you can look into. You can always go to Forex Factory, as well as you can look into investing.com. Yeah, and most importantly is that to select at least 2 to 3 news for more confirmations. Yeah, all right, so let's see and let's look into the chart. So how do we know what is the current price? Yeah, what is the current price, and where is it will be heading to? Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so as we can see over here, I'll show you the, yeah, you can see over here for US oil, currently is 1 minute. Okay, so we have around 90.86. Yeah, yeah, so this is the point that we are heading. Let's look at the another time frame, shorter time frame. So we know that it's 90.87. Yeah, so let's look at 4 hours. 90.87. So this is where this is where actually we know, yeah, what is actually happening, because in the bigger time frames, what happens is that that we can see that the trend is basically down. Yeah, it's downtrend. Yeah, so we can check with daily. So we know that daily basically is also downtrend. Yeah, we can look at the previous candle. Yeah, like for daily is basically it's just going uptrend basically. So there might be some changes. Yeah, and 1 minute basically we can see that the price of the oil is basically increasing, and 5 minutes also we can see that the price is basically increasing as well. So what we'll have to do is that as we know that according to our fundamental analysis is that we knew that the price will increase, but now the question is until when? Yep, what is the resistance level basically? So for this actually, what we do is that we try to check, yeah, the news in investing.com. Yeah, there is a current news that US crude oil or break below 90 might depend on job reports and not OPEC. So what actually happens is that we will have to actually look into the US jobs basically. Yeah, so we have to see into the employment. So as readings from here, we get to know that actually the production of oil, yeah, will be more determined if, let's say, more people are actually using the transportation basically in US. So we will have to see that there were increases in March that has brought which has brought rates nearly from zero as high as 2.5. Yeah, and there is an inflation as measured as in the consumer price index, which is growing at a pace of 9.1 to 12 months to June. Yeah, so we can see if, let's say, inflation basically happens here, and we know that there will be more printing, yeah, of US dollar, which will happen, and thus this will actually also increase the price of the oil. Yeah, so we want to see, since we know that the actual benchmark that we get over here from the news, yeah, is basically 90. Yeah, so we are taking it for 90. All right, so if let's say we're taking it for 90, we are expecting that if let's say most of the news is actually going, yeah, is actually going above, yeah, it's going bullish basically. So we will have to actually surpass even the previous, yeah, the previous high. Okay, let's see towards the previous high. So we can see the previous high, that we ever had. Okay, in 5 minutes, let's go with shorter time frame, was 91.09. Yeah, let's look at 1 minute. So as we can see, it's 90.85, 86. Yeah, so we know that this is the range here. This is the range at where that has not been has not been suppressed. Yeah, so we know, and we look into shorter time frames because it's important for us to look at the current market, and thus actually determining that whether the market direction will be bullish or bearish basically. So for now, as long as it doesn't actually goes below it does not goes below 90 basically, so we still assume that the bullish trend is basically taking place for the crude oil. Yeah, so that is the forecast for today. Yeah, so for any information, do contact us basically. You can also contact me at 014-258-4067. Yeah, I'm open to actually to any questions that will be done, yeah, regarding on the fundamental analysis, and I'm looking forward for more discussion from all of you. Thank you very much and have a good day.